Welcome back to Your 1230, the podcast where our guests tell their stories with the help of only 12 questions and ideally under 30 minutes. Today, we are thrilled to be joined by Alex Hitt. Before the pandemic, Alex was an international award-winning hotel manager. He moved to Hawaii with no car, no job, no apartment, and no connections in December of 19. He landed the best job of his life. Then on his first day, he was laid off because of lockdowns. Alex pivoted to real estate, and in his first year as a realtor, he sold $3 million worth of Hawaiian real estate. He did business with complete strangers, never paid for an advertisement, and met all his clients through social media. Alex is now teaching those same social media secrets and techniques to hundreds of businesses in the TikTok for Business group. TikTok for Business group is changing how businesses grow on social media. Alex, welcome. We are very excited to have you here today.
Oh, thanks. I'm super excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
You got it. And there's a lot I want to follow up on from that bio, but I'm going to start at the end there. How is TikTok changing uh, life for businesses, specifically as you're working with your clients in your group?
Yeah. I mean, TikTok is changing how people use social media flat out. I mean, social media is one of the most, you know, influential, the thing that people spend the most time on, and TikTok has come and flipped it on its head. So how is it changing how businesses, engage with social media or use social media? Well, the one of the senior level people at TikTok, they said TikTok isn't really a social media app. It's really an entertainment app. And what you see all the social media platforms kind of changing from is away from connection and more into consumption of who can get the most consumers consuming content, because the more content they consume, the more advertisements they see, the better the bottom dollar gets. So yeah, I mean, really TikTok is it, people think, when is TikTok going to take over? It already has. It's the most downloaded app of the last 3 years. And it's the most used app in the entire country. It's the most used social media app in the entire country, in the entire world, honestly. People use it for, on average, over 90 minutes per day. That's more than
Wow.
YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all of them. Yeah. So go ahead.
No, I was going to just say I like the content versus consumption versus entertainment distinction there, specifically as it relates to the amount of time people are spending on the app and just the sheer numbers of downloads. How are our businesses best, I don't want to say taking advantage, but using or leveraging their consumers' time and the consumption of that entertainment so they can turn them into new or larger customers? What does that look like in practice?
Yeah. So I like to demystify TikTok for people. What it really is, what TikTok really is you see a lot of different things online or in the news about it. What TikTok is, it's short form video on your phone. That's what it is. It's short form video on your phone. And they're the best at it. They do it way better than any other social media platform. And so people say, well, how does a TikTok lead to business? Well, the same way a TV commercial does, or a Facebook post, really anything. It's just the medium is maybe the most effective at actually advertising to people. Short form video, and the majority of TikTok videos are people just recording themselves, pointing the camera right at themselves and just speaking into the camera. And so I found, and a lot of our business owners found, they said, I had never gotten success on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, any of them. But in my first 2 weeks, I'm getting people on TikTok. Why? Well, because people are more open to this direct style of communication, looking directly into the camera and just saying what's on your mind. So it's even more accessible than any other platform. I'll also say this: TikTok, like we said, most downloaded platform, most used platform in the entire country. 99% of businesses do not use it to advertise. So think about this. It's the most trafficked highway on the entire internet, and 99% of businesses don't even have a billboard up on it. And so the opportunity and the competition level is practically zero, especially when compared to the other ones. So there's a combination of factors. One, it's the medium, how it's being expressed. Two, no one else is on it. And three, I mean, it's probably easier to get on than any other platform too. So you don't need great copywriting skills. You don't need editing skills like you would on YouTube. You don't need to build a huge following. I mean, in your first couple of days, we have had people in their first couple of days reach over 1 million people.
Wow.
and
So
and that's just not even possible on any other social media app. Go ahead.
with numbers like that, what's keeping the 99% of businesses off? Is it just not awareness, not knowing what's available? What, in your
Yeah.
opinion, what is it?
A couple of things. Definitely. There's the perception of what people hear on the news. Oh, it's for kids and it's for dancing. And it absolutely started that way. Same with Facebook, though. Facebook started off with high schoolers and college kids. Well, TikTok started maybe even trending a little bit younger. It really took off during the pandemic when a bunch of kids were at home, you know, and it did start with teenagers kind of dancing. But just like Facebook has transformed, all the young people are on it now. Everybody and their, grandma got a Facebook. Well, you see the same trend happening with TikTok. Is older people, 50 and up is the fastest growing demographic. Now over 75% of the people who use the app are over the age of 20. So the demographic, older people are catching on. Usually trends start with younger people and go older. So I talk to businesses all day, still 90%, 99% think, oh, it's still just for kids dancing. No, nothing could be further from the truth. All the biggest businesses are on there. And the big businesses are on there because they understand the macro trends. They have the data. It's the small and medium business owner who doesn't see the macro trends, who just doesn't have access to the resources or the marketing intel. And so they see things on the news, they hear, oh, this is for kids, and they think this isn't for me. When, who's on TikTok? It's like saying who's on Facebook? Everybody. Yeah. And then there's that one more. Oh, everyone's telling me to do LinkedIn and Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. I don't want to do one more. I don't want to do this. I don't want to learn a whole new platform. What I'm telling people is, man, you have a once in a decade opportunity here to take advantage of this platform. So you better do it now, because if you were kicking yourself that you didn't grow a YouTube channel in the first 3 years, or you didn't start your podcast when podcasts first started to become popular, or YouTube, if you did create a YouTube channel in the first 3 years, you would have benefited for the next 10 years. If you would have started a Facebook group when Facebook groups first started off, you would have benefited for the next 10 years. We have that same once in a decade opportunity here today, right now on TikTok. But a lot of business owners, just like they missed the boat on Facebook or YouTube or podcasting, they're missing the boat now. And so that's why I'm out here evangelizing and telling people, you guys got to act now. You guys got to do it now, because it's not going to be how it is now forever.
Well, full disclosure, you and I connected over this topic, and I was one of those holdouts, not one more. And after talking to you for less than 10 minutes, I was sold, and I've joined the group. So if you could tell our listeners a little bit about it, who comprises the group, and what types of things that you lead and discuss, I think that would be helpful.
Thank you. Yeah. So we have what I call the TikTok for Business group. And it's a collection right now over 1,200 business owners, all helping each other grow together. And what I realized was, when I was talking to business owners, they said, man, I want to do it, but I don't know how. And so I started coaching people just kind of nonchalantly. And then they got great results too. And then we said, okay, this maybe could be a real business. So we started coaching more and more. And now we have coaching every single day, 365 days a year. We have a live 1-hour Zoom coaching call, which businesses can come learn how to do TikTok. Then people were saying, are these available offline? So I built a whole course. So now we have the TikTok for Business course, which is the complete step-by-step guide on how to use TikTok for business. And then we have community events. We have master classes and masterminds and workshops that you can do together, and networking events that you can meet other business owners on TikTok. And so I say it's really everything that business owners need to succeed on the platform. And that is constantly expanding as people, mention, hey, Alex, we need this. I'm happy to adjust and meet people where they are. So one of the new things that we just offer is video edits at a very, very cheap price. So if you want kind of a more professional edit that you can take that TikTok video and maybe post it on LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram and be proud of it, well, we can give you that kind of professional look. So I say, we're giving people the resources and the knowledge of a full service, very expensive marketing company at 1/10 of the price is really the thing. And empowering business owners to do social media themselves, because that is how social media works these days. No marketing company can really be in front of your business like you can. And if they can do it better than you, it's probably going to cost you a ton of money. You know what I mean? Which I don't know. A lot of people have that much to hire their own marketing department. So we really empower people to have the tools, the resources, the look of a full service marketing company at 1/10 the price.
And that's where the light bulb not only went off, but really started flashing for me when we spoke, was that marketing piece that you can certainly outsource this, but for someone to do a job as good as you can, or to know your business, know your target, know what you're selling as well as you do, it's either going to be well out of your budget, or it's going to be something that's not even on the same level that you can produce. And then, while I promise I will not be in awe of you during our time together the entire time, but your community, I mean, you're underselling just the amount of content, the quality, the ease of use, how easy it is to find and to get started and to figure out where and when you want to go. So I've been thoroughly impressed, and I would, and I have not met all of the 1,200 in the group, but I would assume a lot of people have the same praise for what you've been able to build and build so quickly. And I'll stop rambling and ask my question there. How have you been able to put the community together in a short amount of time and put such value together for a group of this size?
It's a great question. I've really been, I see the window of opportunity on this is not forever. You know, I think the TikTok for Business group can definitely grow forever, and you can support people on TikTok. TikTok's not going anywhere, but I really have the desire to grow it very quickly and to help as many people as possible while the timing is still right. Like we said, it's not going to be around forever. So I have this kind of fever and intensity about growing the group. How have we kind of built the group so quickly? One of that is through TikTok. I mean, you know, we're a product of the product, right? And so to say is we get a lot of people from TikTok, but I really am addressing that business owner who's not on TikTok. And it's been a big help because so many businesses don't use it. And then the business owners who do get on it and get great success, well, then they got to tell all their family and friends and everybody. And so referrals have been really big into the group too. Because unlike the other social media platforms, which can take you literally years to grow on, people get success in their first 2 weeks. And then they're blown away. And then they want to share it to everybody. So really our members who have found success are our biggest cheerleaders and supporters. So I'm really always thankful to them. And that's really the vision. I think want to leverage business owners together to support each other. And why other people aren't doing that is, you know, it does take a lot of people management and leadership to do this. And kind of my experience and my background has prepared me for that. Hotel manager, I used to manage large groups of people, and I've always been somebody to get people together and have a mission and try, you know, and have a goal. So yeah, a combination of things, referrals, social media. I'm big, you know, I'm the social media guy, so I'm really big on social media. And then just, yeah, I think that may have covered it. If that answered your question.
It does, and I want to get into the hotel management piece, but I do have one last possibly last TikTok question. You mentioned the 2 week timeline from seeing someone get on the platform to take off, and you know we've talked about the entertainment piece, and we've talked about kind of the lack of competition. But do you see any similarities in the type of videos, specifically on those first 2 weeks, those first few videos people put on that are popular, or kind of tent poles that someone looking for that, you know, while it's tough to say, all right, I'm going to do this and I'm going to get the 100,000 views. What commonalities do you see by those that take off so quickly, if there are any?
One, it's that they're posting a good amount of content, that they're being consistent. Consistency in life and a lot of things is so important. And people hear some things about TikTok, and if they don't get the right success, they slack off, or, you know, not maybe slack off, but they get demotivated and they're not maybe as consistent. So first of all, consistency. The people who succeed are consistent. And you're going to have the ups and downs of consistency. And that's where really discipline comes in. I make sure I post every single day to TikTok. I post more than a lot of people, but I'm kind of the TikTok guy, so I kind of got to lead by example. But consistency is huge. And then we have a structure that we give people, a process that works really for almost every single industry because it's a communication skill, right? TikTok is short form video, communication. So you got to communicate your message in a short period of time. And we have a kind of a structure and a system that, we have a lady never been on TikTok before. She just was super consistent. She posted a couple of videos a day, more than a couple. She posted maybe 5 to 10 videos a day, but used our structure about 15 seconds long each. Her first 2 weeks got a sale, and she's selling real estate trusts. Okay.
Wow.
The price point on that is $18,000. And she sold an $18,000 high ticket product in 2 weeks. So, really incredible. And she just gives all credit to the system of she's just doing consistency, posting a good amount of content to get out there at a high rate and and then, how the structure. And so there's kind of a crazy thing about TikTok right now in August of 2022, you can post an unlimited amount of videos and get an unlimited amount of views. And that might seem like obvious, but that's not the same on any other platform. People post on YouTube all day and they get 1 or 2 views on the video. You can post 10 videos a day, every single day to TikTok. I did this experiment to prove it. Every single one of those videos will get 250 views, and not from the same people, from different people every time. So that's one of the things that I constantly tell people. It's like, how many views do you want? How much business do you want? Because you can stay on this platform all day, post videos all day, and get new customers all day. It's up to you how much effort you want to put in and how much you believe in the process. So
Consistency and systems. Good advice for TikTok. Good advice for life.
yeah.
I love it and appreciate it, Alex. But I did want to ask
Yeah.
you about the hotel management piece. I didn't realize you moved to Hawaii without a job. What brought you there then, besides all that's wonderful about Hawaii? Why did you decide to go there when you did?
Yeah. So I was first a hotel manager in Japan. I managed an international guest hostel, and I moved back to Wisconsin. I got this job actually working the night shift at a Holiday Inn Express. My goal was just to save up money to go back to Japan. But this Holiday Inn, they said, we were opening this brand new hotel in downtown Madison, Wisconsin, where I'm from, $36 million. And if you stick around for a year, you can be the manager of it. And so that seems like a pretty sweet deal. And so I hung out and I got promoted and I joined this new hotel. And they said, Alex, make it the number one hotel in the world. I said, okay, we'll try. And you can, I guess, fast forward to the end of the year. It actually did end up becoming the number one hotel in its brand. And I went to my boss and I said, hey, I made it number one. I did what you said. I think I deserve a raise. Really nice lady. Love the hotel. Great management company. They said, new hotel budget, maybe in the next quarter of the next year. And I said, no, that's not good enough. So me and my girlfriend, who I actually met at the hotel, me and her together at the front desk were kind of the reason it became number one, to be honest. And we said, let's leave. Let's go somewhere else. As a hotel person at the time, in 2019, hotels were booming, events, everything. And so right there behind the front desk one day, we looked at each other and we said, let's just move to Hawaii. I whipped out my credit card, and at the front desk of the hotel, we bought one-way tickets to Hawaii on the cheapest day in December with no car, no job, no apartment, no plan, nothing. Just said, let's just do it. And we were confident, we had glowing resumes. We thought, hey, we'll get a job anywhere at the beach, make a ton of money, with our background. It'll be gravy. We'll live there for a year or two, and then, we'll move on to another hotel. Didn't turn out that way, but we're happy we still did. Yeah. So that's how we moved to Hawaii. It was really just a spur of the moment decision behind the front desk of a hotel.
I love the way that you talk about the business group, which I can say I've seen personally, and you are very humble and you're downplaying the amount of work and excellence that goes in on your end. But you talk proudly about the hotel management piece and that you were the driving force behind, I'll say it, the driving force behind the success just from the way you tell the story. Not that I want to take that down a peg, but do you remember walking out of the job in Hawaii when everything started shutting down, what you were thinking as you were walking out that day? Because day one, that's not a great circumstance.
Yeah. I just, everybody thought it was just going to last for a couple of weeks. That's what I thought. I just said, okay, I'm just going to start making a little money, doing a little delivery, and eventually I'll go back. And then they call me the next week. Oh, it's going to be a little bit longer. And then the next month, oh, it's going to be a little bit longer, but don't worry, you're going to come back. A little bit longer and a little bit longer. And at the end of 2020, at the end of the year, they said, you're not coming back. You're permanently laid off. And that's when I had kind of the moment. And I said, what the heck am I going to do? Because I realized at that moment I'd never go back to hotels. And I loved it. I mean, it was my passion. It was my life. And I realized at the end of that year, that career path is gone for me, unfortunately. The trajectory, the connections, the just income potential, how many hotels closed down. And I just said, for now that avenue's closed. So, and I had to readjust and became a real estate agent. And yeah, that's a whole nother story, I guess.
And that's one we're going to lean into here. Why or how did you pick real estate given the circumstances there?
So the job that I actually got in Hawaii was to sell timeshare, timeshare sales. To sell timeshare in Hawaii, you need a real estate license. So when I moved to Hawaii, I was offered this job, great job, about to make boatloads of money, had to go get my real estate license. So I actually went through all the hoops and I got my real estate license in under 5 weeks, which I've heard is pretty fast. Went back to the company. They're like, oh my, how did you do that? Under 5 weeks? Like, can you start on Monday? And we did the corporate training. And then, after a week, they said, actually, you don't have a job. So I had that real estate license. And so I was like, I spent literally a couple $1,000s to get this. I might as well try to be a real estate agent. I can't sell timeshare. Let me try to be a real estate agent. So I just, no experience in the industry, no connections in Hawaii. We were still on lockdown. I got my real estate license and I understood some things about social media because I had managed social media accounts for the Holiday Inn, for the hotel in Japan. And I said, let me just do this for myself now and promote my own brand. And I didn't want to at all. I was the guy who would post like once every 4 years on Facebook. And when I did post, it was like a sunset with like 2-word caption, like life change, something kind of moody. And you know what I mean? And so I didn't want to do it, but I had to. So literally in between deliveries, because that's what I was doing to survive, I would just do some things on social media, and do kind of the strategies that we teach in the group. And, somebody reached out to me and I did my first deal for $1.42 million through social media with a complete stranger, So that's how I got into it. I didn't want to necessarily. But I said, hey, I spent all this money to get my real estate license. I might as well try it. Then I said, how am I going to find customers? Door knocking wasn't very good. We were still on lockdown. This is December of 2021. Can't even door knock. I didn't have any money to like do the average. I mean, I was a broke delivery driver at the time. And so in between deliveries, I just, pound the pavement on social media, so to say.
I've had the pleasure of working with real estate professionals all over the country and more recently all over the world. I don't think I've met anyone that either A, is down there, well, plenty of people will do their first deal with strangers, but none close to $1.5 million. So you must have had some good advertising. One thing that comes through clearly in all of these stories is your business acumen and your understanding of getting from point A to B for the role that you're in and a strategic way forward. That I think that's clear, especially speaking to you again this evening. What I wanted to ask you about was when you started posting for your real estate career, what drew you to TikTok? Did you have an idea of what was available, or did you stumble on it? Did somebody advise you? How did that happen?
To be honest, I wasn't even using TikTok at the time. I know it's shocking, but this was in 2021. I was the guy who still thought, man, TikTok is not for me because it was video and I wasn't comfortable being on video. And so I did some video, for Instagram reels and stuff, but I wasn't really utilizing the video as much. I think like, man, if I would have hopped on TikTok in 2021, maybe I would have done $6 million, but I just wasn't that. I just didn't know at the time that TikTok, I was kind of like everybody else. And, if I did hop on in 2021, man, like I said, I probably could have doubled my sales, but yeah, nothing. It was only until 2022, really, just the beginning of this year, that I kind of caught on. I was listening to some social media people, influencers, and then the other thing too is I started using TikTok all the time, and I was the person who was using it for 90 minutes a day or more. And then I said, man, my girlfriend looks at me and she says, you better make that into a business or that's going to be a huge waste of time. Luckily I did, but yeah, I wasn't actually using it at the time. So even more impressive, right?
Very, and good advice from your girlfriend to turn TikTok into a business. As one of the consumers spending 90 plus minutes a day, what have you purchased, if you have, from seeing something on TikTok?
I think we've gone to restaurants here through TikTok. A recent study came out that 40% of Gen Z don't Google search restaurants. They actually go to TikTok
Wow.
and Instagram to look up the videos. And so that's been one thing for me. When we look up things to do, things to do in Hawaii or restaurants in Hawaii, we're going to Instagram and TikTok to look up the videos instead of going to the Google ranking because that's paid for. And I've gone to plenty of restaurants that have 4.6 stars on Google, and you go there and it's like, this is the worst, right? Videos, though, don't lie. So I've always used it for that. But as far as like items, I don't know. I honestly don't buy a ton of stuff offline. I mean, but yeah, yeah. So nothing really. Restaurants, food, but that's about it.
That's super insightful because you're absolutely right that the star reviews, the write-ups, the where they rank on the page, all of that can be manipulated, interpreted, misconstrued one way or another. But if I've got a sort of real-time video of, hey, where should we eat tonight? Let's take a look at, oh, this guy had this for lunch there. That looks pretty good. I can sit at that table tonight. I'm in. And that's kind of the access that it gives you. And even as you say, it's I'm not comfortable on video, or how is this going to look, that the walls have kind of broken down with the platform, that it's the editing quality or the video quality is just not. And that's kind of another thing from the pandemic, that people understand that it's not going to be television studio video quality anymore. It's now, what am I seeing? Is this entertainment? Is this informative? Is this a combination? And you figured that out, and you've taught a large number of people how to leverage that, and it's absolutely brilliant. And like I said, the way that you've turned it around so quickly from what many would consider a dire situation, very incredible. I'll stop rambling here. We've talked a lot about what you do, what your background was prior to the TikTok for Business group. Being in Hawaii now, what do you do to get away from social, to get away from work? What do you do for fun? What do you do to relax?
I really like what I'm doing right now. What I'm doing right now is, I mean, people say, Alex, you do it every day. I like doing it every day. I mean, I like being connected to the customer and being connected with people. But what I do for fun, I mean, I like movies a lot. I watch a lot of movies. I'm about to eat some sushi right now. We live in Hawaii. We have fresh fish. So I like sushi and eating, going to the beach, obviously. But I'm an adventurous guy too. I mean, I like hiking. I backpacked, in Alaska. I rode my bike halfway across Japan. We moved out to Hawaii on a limb. So I'm always looking for the next adventure. This just so happens TikTok is kind of the next adventure here. So I'm having a lot of fun with what I'm doing. But yeah, spending time with my girlfriend, enjoying where we are. I mean, every day you wake up and you're just like, it's awesome to live here. I mean, they say Hawaii, the cost of living is high, but the luxuries are free. And that's true. You just walk down the street and you're like, this is, I mean, I'm coming from Madison, Wisconsin. It ain't like this there. It's pretty nice here. So just being in Hawaii, going to a new beach, eating some new food, watching a movie, relaxing, but I like what I do. I like work. I like building a business. It's fun. So
That comes across loud and clear. One of my final questions here this evening, being somebody who's moved internationally, moved to Hawaii, what advice could you give someone who's been reluctant or thinking about it and not sure it's for them, or if they had only known somebody or had some advice, they would do it? What would you tell that person?
I love that question. You have to just do it. You just have to, don't plan too much, because if you plan too much, you're almost closing yourself off to the possibilities of what could be. And when I moved to Japan, I had a place to stay and I had a friend there, and that was it. And it turned into a job. And I just said kind of yes to things. And when me and my girlfriend were moving to Hawaii, she's a small town girl from Wisconsin. Never, she traveled to Europe after college and stuff, but she had never just picked up her whole life and moved somewhere else. And I just kept telling her, don't worry about it. It's going to be bigger and better than you can ever imagine. And when we moved here, we didn't know anybody. We didn't have any connections. We didn't have a call, we had nothing. And I messaged 300 people on Craigslist. Okay. One person got back to me. This was December of 2019, almost Christmas season. Okay. One person got back to me. We went up to the apartment on the 20th story of this Waikiki Beach, on Waikiki Beach, 20th story Waikiki Beach. And we look at this apartment, and the number is apartment 2020. And we walk into apartment 2020, and it's got the most beautiful ocean view you've ever seen, surfers and sailboats and cargo ships, and it's right on the marina. And the girl looks at us and she says, I have to move tomorrow. Can you move in tomorrow? And we're like, yeah, of course. And so we literally moved in the next day. And we could have never planned that in a million years. And we wouldn't have got the best apartment, like literally ever, if we would have tried to plan everything out and make sure everything. And I'm not, and maybe that's coming from like I don't know, is it going to work out for everybody? No, we had tons of trials, tons of tribulation, so many obstacles. When one thing went right, the next thing went wrong. But as you can kind of see, and through my story, and what my story kind of represents, is I never, ever, ever gave up. And I just said, I will do whatever it takes. And I believe if you do whatever it takes, you can do whatever you want in this life. And so I just have that whatever it takes attitude. If it was driving delivery 14 hours a day, if it was door knocking, if it was pounding, doing social media, I went $25,000 into credit card debt just to keep the dream alive, just to keep us in. And not that we had an option to go anywhere else. We didn't. We were broke. But, you just can't, if you're looking to just kind of, change your life, it's kind of the Tony Robbins, you got to burn the boats. You can't give yourself a way out, because if you give yourself a way out, you'll take it. I take it. I talk about this on TikTok. You make the commitment. You don't, people don't have a lack of ideas. They have a lack of commitments or deadlines, right? Because when you give yourself a commitment and a deadline, you have to perform. You have to do it. So I would just say, make the commitment, maybe have a little bit of a safety net, but at least tell yourself in your mind there's no way out. And then you'll come up with the ideas and the solutions and the way forward.
I love how you answer that so much. I love how you've convinced me about something that in under an hour of speaking with you, you've convinced me wholeheartedly that what you're doing on TikTok has such immense potential for so many. And I will try to summarize. Don't plan as much. Say yes to more things. Burn the bridges, and be okay with change. And that when things go wrong, that you still have to push forward. I think that's a great message, and I'm going to leave us there because I can't ask a better follow up. And you've been very gracious with your time, and thank you very much for sharing your story. It's an awesome one.
Thank you, Mike. This was really fun. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it.
You got it. Look forward next time, Alex.